Yeah, just a few hiccups, but this game has just started. Of course, it's 3 minutes and 3 minutes and just 10 seconds more add to that, and it does seem like a long evening for us, Vivek. It's going to
It
be
does.
very interesting to see how this night really pans out. It's going to be a decision because tomorrow is the grand finals. It's going to be happening right here at Infinity Mall. So if you're around Bombay, this is a place to be. You're going to enjoy the grand finals. There's so many new teams. That's the beauty of Taiwan. We have so many new teams that come in and try their luck. And sometimes we have new teams that get formed because of this.
Mm.
For now, the game is set and ready to go. That slight lead in net worth, of course, that is favoring Umamba, yet again now has reached not that much of a lead. It's gone from 2K to almost just about 500 gold here and there between the two teams.
Yep. Small lead. Still early on in the laying phase here. So I think the lanes will start to take shape. But yeah, both offlaners doing well. The only thing worth really noting here is that Madness on the Legion Commander is doing a lot better than the Sven, and Ahmed on the Void is doing a lot better than the Sven. So the one position on the side of Umamba really suffering. The mid laner to an extent keeping up. I mean, it's been close between Clown K and Error. Error has been trying to just keep up in terms of farm as much as he can. But yeah, of the two side lanes, it looks as if Viper are pretty much doing better in both. Excuse me, Amir is farming more than Acrid so far, and Madness is pretty much just keeping up pretty close to Red.
Absolutely. And after that minute in the Bounty Ruin, there are no more kills that have actually taken place. A
Yep.
major reason for that is both the teams have quite a bit of passive supports here, and they got to get everything right to be able to take down a kill. And that's why we mostly will be seeing more kills on this map between the 7 and 8 when Mark cut me shot. Acrid getting that stun off this time around on Madness, but he's going to be able to escape. And this is going to keep happening over and over again. So
Yep.
major aggression going to come in only 7 minutes into this game once we have more skills online between these two teams.
I mean, yeah, it's really hard for you, Mamba, to find an opening on a Madness here. In fact, it's Madness who's just going ham. Shondi dropping low, should probably end up falling. Smoke gets the kill. With the hard dispel coming up from press the attack, they just don't have enough lockdown between the two of them. I think if they really want to make this kill onto the Legion Commander work, I think Invincible needs to make a rotation, and maybe at this stage you sack Red, because look, the Sven, he's having a hard time. That's okay. The good news is he can maybe just catch up in the jungle. But if even that opportunity is denied to him, Acrid's game is pretty much done for as one position.
The rune of
True that, and
regeneration.
Umamba, they're getting those 3 bounties for themselves, so they're going to be very
That should
happy
help.
about that. BM, meanwhile, he's not going to be able to get this kill onto Invincible. He's going to head back. But when you look at this laning phase of a Void and an Ogre, there's not very much they both can do
No.
together. And that is going to give Umamba so much more lead early on to
Yeah.
this game. But meanwhile, in the top lane, that's where all the action will start brewing. Now we do see Invincible. Nice tornado coming up from him. BM in the fight, running pretty low on HP. Now Ahmed trying to get a few more shots, but that's a Centaur War Runner. And there's no way he's going to be getting a lot of damage done onto him.
Yeah. Acrid, pretty much all the cores across the map is really having the roughest time here. But hopefully he should be able to catch up soon enough. That's the good thing about this one. I mean, you put up a couple of points in the cleave, maybe get yourself a couple of bracers. Hopefully someone is stacking ancients for you, and you can catch up in the jungle. Speaking of those ancient stacks, I've got to commend BM's vision. This is going to help set up for the 10-minute bounties, and maybe even keep tabs
Rune
of
of
anybody
double
stacking the
damage.
jungle or whatnot. For
Uh,
now, Madness going to be okay, but there comes Arrow with the remnants. He's going to try and help out this Mamba safe lane. He's also going towards Smoke. Smoke actually turns. He wants in on Shondi, but this is ambitious at best as he tries to juke in the trees. He has nowhere to run. The Flame Guard still active. A Fairy
Dire's
Fire
middle
buys him
tower
time, and
is
with the
under attack.
telekinesis, he might have just done enough. But unfortunately for him, Error still had one more remnant to work with.
I mean, beautiful rotation coming out there from Era. He didn't lose anything in
Dire's
lane
middle
because he's
tower
still
is
sitting with
under
37
attack.
creeps and 8 denies. He's got 2 kills to his name,
Yep.
giving him a very high net worth against Clown K. And now Clown K has to be really careful. He's getting his farms somehow, but with these kind of rotations coming from Umamba, when you look at Wipeout's lineup, they are pretty squishy
Yep.
in the first 15 minutes of this game, and I think Era's going to take full advantage of that.
That's a really smart rotation coming up from Era because he knew that Clown K fell back into the jungle. With the lane pushed in, Clown K not anywhere on the map. He clearly had an opportunity to go make a play elsewhere on the map without dying or without sacrificing too much health on his star. And it really paid off. I mean, Acrid needed that. I'm not quite sure how much that's going to really help him win this lane again, but it's something.
Absolutely, and now knowing all that, Wipeout going to take a rotation there into the top lane, maybe try and get a quick kill here onto the Ancient Apparitionist when they need this. But meanwhile, Umamba, huge lead here when it comes to kills. They're 4 kills ahead, just 7 minutes into this game.
Yep. I mean, they've clearly been taking initiative across the map. That's the one thing I really respect about their playstyle, is that they try and do stuff across the map. The one thing that I've got to point out is though that this Invoker can't really do all that much. I mean, he's struggling to find anything to do in his lane. Right now, Angela is just pretty much leeching EXP or not leeching EXP. That's pretty much been his life. He's not stacking for the Sven. He isn't pushing the Void out of lane. So hopefully this support Invoker does start to come online, because against a better team, I feel like they would have punished this weak laning coming out from Umamba.
Absolutely, I got to agree with you on that. I mean, it does seem like it's just a little bit of an easier matchup where he can do these shenanigans, but in a good, proper game, that would not be something that would be respected. Meanwhile, now top lane yet again, Ember Spirit trying to catch Oya. He does see smoke running pretty low here. Madness in the fight, but now we do see Invincible coming into the fight. The EMP Tornado does connect beautifully. Well, the board is going to make a jump here, and meanwhile the Ember Spirit going to pay for all this with his life. Smoke going to take a fall there, but meanwhile Swan getting quickly stunned there by BM. There is a rotation. Madness looking for another opening. Shondi going to be the next one to the rotation, but Amir comes in now. He does have the Chronosphere if he wants to use it. He's going to expel it this time around. He's going to be taking down Acrid, who's still alive, still kicking for another second, but he's not going to be able to survive. Now Red coming in to help his team. Shondi being able to take down Madness. Good trade-off here for the side of Umamba, but Red still alive, and now Clown K looking for another. The X mark on the spot, going to connect. This time the Centaur going to pay for this with his life. BM still going ahead, a little too far behind the tower, and he's going to pay for his life.
Oh yeah. Aero wants back though. I don't think he's going to find Clown K. Might be able to find Amir. Amir still running. He should be okay. They see him, but they can't catch him. I think at the end of it all, that was a really costly fight for the side of Umamba, because they, I mean, it looks like a 3 for 3, but they ended up losing all their cores, and that's what really, really hurts them. Amir early on the Void, really adventurous without the Chronosphere. I'm not quite sure if this could pay off, but the duel committed. They're going to find the Ancient Apparition. Quick Tornado, Shondi will fall, but no duel damage going the way of Madness. He didn't get any duel damage for the previous duel either versus the Ember Spirit, if I'm not mistaken. But the good thing coming out of all of this is that Acrid just rotated bottom. He's had enough of that safe lane. He's going to switch things up. He'll play bottom. No more Legion Commander for him to deal with. This is good stuff coming out from Acrid.
This is like very surprising, because Wipeout was so much behind when you looked at just a minute ago, and then suddenly they've just turned the tides for themselves.
Yep.
The net worth has swung a little bit towards their end. A lot of mistakes coming out of Umamba. Losing error on the Ember Spirit was not something they're going to be really happy about.
Yep.
Sven taking a fall there, Acrid needing to switch a lane so early on into the game is again something they're not very comfortable in. We spoke about how this Invoker was not going to be that useful, but suddenly he seemed to have so much more impact in this matchup.
Yep. Amir on the Void still, I mean, he's sharing a lane with another core. I'm not quite sure what the play is, but they are punishing Red. A TP is going to try and come in from Invincible, and with the Stampede, Red might actually look to turn the Cold Snap EMP. They should be able to bring down Madness with the double edge. They'll find themselves the Legion Commander. Good stuff coming out from you, Mamba, just baiting Wipeout out of position and punishing them.
We are back to square one though. The lanes have completely switched. The Void was bottom, he's back on top. The Centaur and the Invoker were bottom, now they're back on top. So nothing much switching out except for the laning phases. Now Acrid, meanwhile, he's still got to deal with smoke in the lane. If we look at the net worth, of course, it still stays in favor of the Ember Spirit in that middle lane with a 5k net worth, followed very closely there by the Kunkka at 4,700, and then Centaur at that 4,500 mark. And both the carries now, one after the other. But if we look at Amir, he's got a 1k net worth lead over the Sven in this particular matter.
Yeah, I mean, any lane that Sven has gone to has been really unkind to him. He's struggling to even lane versus smoke on the Rubik. And yeah, I think there's really no option for you, Mamba, or rather, there's no option for
Radiant
Accurate rather
structures
than to
are
just hit the jungle
fortified.
up top. Cold Snap into EMP. The Ice Blast did connect. The
Dire's
Hoop Stomp
bottom
want
tower
error
is under
once in. He's going to
attack.
commit a couple of remnants. He wants this Madness Legion Commander, but he just can't have it. The Tornado there. It looks as if you, Mamba, need to run. Stolen Tornado from Smoke. Not going to connect under anyone. An error though, he's been caught clunky
Dire's
with the
bottom
X-Plus
tower
spot. They
is
might just find the
fortified.
Ember Spirit. The duel is available, but Madness so low, has no choice but to run the overwhelming ward, doing so much damage, but BM ends up falling. They'll find Madness as well. They will lose the center. Red does end up falling, but Mamba might just find a lot more here as the buyback comes from the Ogre. It's going to be enough though to push them back. And Mamba will not pursue any further. They find themselves the Legion Commander and the Ogre, and they do force a buyback.
A very, very confident Ember Spirit coming out there from Error. I mean, he went back and forth. A very, very confident Ember Spirit, definitely. I mean, he's really turning out to be one of those mid players you got to watch out for in a lot of upcoming tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
of
good
course,
stuff coming up from Error, like you mentioned.
we are going to be seeing Red now heading into the mid lane. And Legion Commander going to be joining him over there. Decent farm here by both the players, if you ask me. 3k. I mean, not the best start here for Madness like the previous game, but that's where you actually test your powers, right? You got to be sure that you're able to lane in any kind of scenario, because you got to be able to deal with these kind of games to be able to go ahead and get some better games on the back for yourself. Now, the Ancient Apparition, we haven't really spoken a lot about this particular hero in specific. That Ice Blast is going to cause a lot of damage here to the side of Wipeout, not only because it's one of those really strong heroes, but it kind of means that you can't regen HP. And on a team like Wipeout, they need that HP regen no matter what. That is what keeps them so sustainable in the laning phase. So Shondi's got just one job in this game, and that is to get those Ice Blasts on point. He connects it to more than 2 or 3 heroes on the side of Wipeout,
Error.
and life is good.
Error. They might just commit the chrono. Yes, they will. It's Ahmed all by himself, but there comes the Tornado. They might buy time for Error. He's got a remnant. He's out of there. Red two-man Hoof Stomp, but there's no real follow-up. Invincible. He dropped the EMP. The boat comes sailing through. Invincible duel might just end up falling. The Fate Bolt's there. They find themselves the Invoker, and now they'll turn towards Red. Red in no man's land, has no friends in the vicinity. Error will throw his body forward. Maybe Mumba can turn this around. The route is there. They will bring down Smoke. It is a 1-for-1 exchange of 4 position support for the 4 position support, but they might find Ahmed. Ahmed did commit the time off. What is this, Angela? He's straight a bit too far forward. He's giving away his life and his dominating streak, and all of a sudden, Mumba, they've swung the network back in their favor.
This was really well played there by Sid. I mean, he made sure that he kept that momentum going. He's a centaur. Why was Ahmed even running behind a centaur war runner who has so much HP? I know it's a very good kill for him, but that's so many heroes surrounding him. It is a big gamble. And this time around, Ahmed fails it. But hopefully, this is just one of those really bad fights here for the side of Wipeout. They shouldn't be getting wiped out so early on. This is not the momentum they want to set in this game, and this Invoker is seeming to slowly catch a pace. He's already level 8, he's picked up the urn, and he's going to be heading into the mid lane now. He also will be able to get quite a few items up and running if he wishes to do so sooner or later. But Ember Spirit, he is playing this game out of his mind. That Remnant out was the most perfect move he could have made there.
Yep.
Arcane power.
Let's take a look at the warding sequence here, of course, with both the teams. Mumba, they have put a very aggressive ward here into the Radiant jungle, so they know exactly where Wipeout is any given point of time if they enter any neutral camp. Meanwhile, they also have one by the Bounty Pit. They also have one very crucial ward into the top lane, which is going to scout out every single time Wipeout tries to take a fight against them. So they've got their wards on point. They've also put so many sentry wards. So basically, Wipeout is playing this complete map blind. They don't really know where they're coming from.
Yeah, they are a bit blind. They don't see all that much. Nice Ice Blast. I'm not quite sure if this is going to work. The Storm Hammer there. Ahmed did commit the time walk. He'll commit Remnants as well from the side of Mumba. Quick lift coming up from Smoke, but he has nothing to steal. No friends in the area. He's throwing his body forward. The Tornado should certainly mean that he might just end up falling. But press the attack coming up from the Legion Commander buys in time. Madness wants his hero, but there's the damage. The boat comes through. Clown K, he's joined the party, and Arrow will end up falling. The first dual victory damage going the way of Madness, and they might just find more. Accurate trying to retreat. Surrounded from all sides. Will be bailed out. Red with the Hoop Stomp. He's bought some time for Accurate, but the Fate Bolt and then one last hit from Smoke, getting himself a double kill. They might also certainly find themselves a center. The Tornado not available from Invincible on the Invoker. Now it comes in. It's bought Red a little bit of time. Another Hoof Storm. Then Mana burn, but Red just doesn't have HP. He's got himself the Hood, the active of the Hood to buy himself some time. But with this Torrent, he should certainly end up falling. One more Tidebringer hit doesn't do the trick. Clown K is going to be careful. That cold snap might just set up for a lot more. The Ice Blast, though, it's off the mark. Shandi's going to be disappointed about that one. But at the end of it all, Mumba, they lose 2 cores. And what did they end up getting? They get the Void, though, but it did cost them 2 cores.
I mean, they got the Void. They could have just backed out. They didn't really need to stick around to take down Smoke. That was a really greedy play coming out of them. And that cost them more than they gained, I think. And it is a nice kill, but if you're going to lose Error for it, it's a very expensive kill. And Wipeout taking advantage of that yet again in their favor. They're going to just take down all these different neutral camps, make sure the net worth is always swinging towards their end. Even though the scorecard reads 10-14, they still have that little bit of advantage. Now, Clown K, he's yet again sitting on top of that net worth with 7.2k, and he's also going to be opting to go for Radiance as his first item.
I've seen a couple of Kunkers do this. I mean, the burn is great. He just survives longer with the Ghost Shift. The miss chance in this game, I don't think it can be that much of a factor. A lot of the damage coming out from Mumba is physical. I mean, is magical. Excuse me, the only source of physical damage is the Sven. So I don't think it's going to be doing all that much. But yeah, it's not bad. I mean, in a way, it makes the Kunkka more of a pain to deal with and a lot more tankier. They do see this Kunkka. Shandi does get scanned though. So Wipeout know that Mumba know that Cloud K was picking up that illusion.
These are like Chinese whispers.
Shandi drops another deep observer. They see a lot, but they've gone upon an illusion. This was bait at its finest. Now Red comes in, Hoof Stomp onto the Kunkka. Error's got to be careful though. That duel might just be his dead. BM pounding away with that Blundersh will help secure that kill. They find themselves Error dead. Mumba have no semblance of team fight as Accurate is next on the hit list. The lift is there, the Fate Bolt as well. They leave the kill for Amir. BM not casing with the Ignite, leaving that kill for the Void. And heck, they might even be hunting for more. Shandi, I'm not quite sure what he's doing in this part of the map, but it looks like Wipeout will show some mercy and just go for a tier 2 tower. Now, the problem is, Angela, that every time they're losing more than 1 core, Mumba.
The problem, I think, more than that, Vivek, is the fact that why are the cores even there so early on into the game? The fact that the Ancient Apparition and the Invoker are not in the fight, and the Sven and the Ember Spirit are in the fight, is surprising to me. You know, one of them needs to farm. There's always a fight where one person is trying to make space for the others. In this case, if you're going to lose both your cores, who are you making space for?
Yep.
And that is something that I'm still trying to figure out. For now, Invincible, he does see the whole team here. That's a very bad place to be. Beautiful Chrono coming out there. And Amir going to be very happy with the skill. And also securing another one. Accurate going to just pop the Shrine now, but it's going to be enough to save his life. He's getting the rotations. Red on point, getting that Hoof Storm, but they're still not able to take down one hero from the side of Wipeout. They're turning the tides now. Red landing really low. He needs to get out of there. Cloud K getting another hit onto that hero, and Error going to be the next one to pay for this. If he can't get a Remnant out of position, the U's going to connect, and that's going to be another quick kill mostly. Error trying to get out, but Smoke on the backlines, making that a team wipe here for the side of Wipeout. I mean, this started off with Invincible entering the fight without the team behind him. These are very small errors.
Yeah. I think if you were acted, you should have also seen that Amir was going to commit the Chrono. I mean, it was just one hero at the Shrine, then another hero TPs in. It just makes that Chrono so much more worth it. Mumba are going to be a little disappointed about how they took that fight, but it's still not over. I mean, maybe if Red finds himself as Blink Dagger, they could start a fight or any fight on their terms and maybe actually end up winning that fight, because what's happening in these fights is that the Ice Blast isn't really landing or connecting, if I'm not mistaken, and with the setup coming up from the Hoof Stomp, it should be a lot easier.
Absolutely, and as this game is proceeding, Mumba, they have a lot of aggressive wards, but they have no ward really scouting out when Wipeout is charging towards them. Now, of course, they have dewarded the 2 wards that Wipeout used to know exactly where Mumba was in that particular fight, and it's a little too late, I think, for these wards to be popping out, but Wipeout, it just seems that they're winning just based on clear experience. The fact that they just understand how to really get these rotations on point. Sometimes they mess it up, but when it works out for them, it works out really well.
Yeah.
And they're going to now pick up a BKB now on the Void with the Maelstrom, so he's getting pretty hard to deal with. He's also going to be farming towards a Maelstrom, if I'm not wrong.
Mjolnir. Yeah,
Um,
he's gonna upgrade the
Mjolnir.
Maelstrom.
And meanwhile, Clown K, he's going to be mostly getting that Sacred Relic, and he's picked up his Radiance also. So he's got pretty farmed up. He's also going to be going for the BKB. That means two of the heroes from the side of Umamba are going to just completely forget about him for the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, and there's already a
Radiant's
Glimmer
top
Cape
tower
on the
is under
Rubik, so
attack.
I mean he's going to be survivable. The supports are going to be hard to kill. So yeah, in general, life is just starting to get harder and harder for this new Mumbai lineup. I feel like maybe they need a Blink Dagger on Accurate, so at least he can delete a support. Right now, he's really struggling to deal with any of the cores on the side of Wipeout, and Wipeout know this. They're just going to pop a smoke, try and find a pick off. Now, I'm not sure if this what